Hey y'all. All right, as you can see, we're back out here in the garage and I'm working today. I'm working on this control arm right here. This is off of a early 90s Dodge van, B series van. B is in boy. Okay? And I'm going to change the ball joint out because this is the factory original ball joint. And I've already done this one right here. I did this a couple of weeks ago. This is the van lower control arm. Now, for those of you who know, you're like, you already getting it. You already know. For those of you who do not, let me update you. Let me bring you up to speed. If you have a pickup truck like this, Dodge pickup truck like this, two-wheel drive, 72 to 93, and you want to lower the front end, this is how you go about doing it on the cheap. Now, you can get these all brand new. However, I got these two control arms and the lower engine cradle assembly all together in one unit. And I didn't pay much for it. I didn't even pay for the engine cradle, the engine cross member. I didn't even pay for that. They just gave it to me. I bought this out of a junkyard. These are the factory control arm bushings. And I got new bushings for this, but after looking at these, I'm like, I just don't think I'm going to replace them. I mean, look at that. They're not even cracked. They're looking really nice. You know? And this one down here is the same way. It's the same kind of condition. It's, you know, and you can see right there, it's, you know, that rubber's not cracked or fallen out or torn apart or anything like that. So, I'm going to show you how I replace these control arm bushings, ball joints. Okay, I've got the ball joint kit, the ball joint tool kit, whatever you want to call it. I've got that laying here, and I'm going to use that. I had to use something else to help the whole thing along. I've got the big gigantic C-clamp, and so I'm going to use these tools to get this ball joint out. And that one was like cake. Okay, I've got new ball joints to go in it, and so this is not the ball joint that's going in this. This is the upper ball joints for that truck over there, and I've got to make a socket for that. Let's see. Okay, yeah, here's the new ball joint. The upper ball joint screws in. Okay, that's why I'm making a socket. Okay, the lower ball joint just presses in. Okay, so something to remember. If you look and you look at a ball joint and it has these flats on it on a Mopar, then chances are it screws out. Okay, it screws out or screws in. It does not press in or press out. Okay, all right, so before I get busy on this, let me go ahead and tell you thank you so much. We're way over 3,000 subscribers. We're almost at 3,100 subscribers. It is really amazing. I really thank you for that. So I just want to say thank you all so much for the likes and the shares and the subscribes. It's really impressive, and I really thank you all so much for that. So anyway, let's get back to this ball joint removal. Now these kits, these tools that you get, all of these sleeves and everything with it, you are going to get, what you're going to see when you get these kits, you're going to have a whole bunch of sleeves like this, And this is kind of this is by OEM. I think I got, yeah, I'm pretty sure I got this from at AutoZone. I don't know if Advance still does the tool loaner deal. I know AutoZone does, and they have been for a very long time. But that's what you do. What I did is I just went to AutoZone and I just bought this from them. And you pay basically the same amount whether you rent it or you buy it, you know. And I just told them, I said, hey, I'm going to rent this and I'm going to keep it. And they said, okay. So let me get this bag open right here. Kind of hard to get these bags open with one hand. Let's see the brand new one. Okay, so there is a brand new one. As you can see, all pretty, everything like that. This is by McQuay Norris. I think I got these off of the Jungle website. Yeah, comes with the grease fitting, little grease zerk. Comes with a cotter pin, the nut, and the boot, the dust boot. Here's what an old one looks like. These weren't bad, but I'm like, while I've got this all blown apart, just go ahead and put in a new ball joint. There's no point in scrimping around here, you know. Okay, so let me get started here. Gonna clamp this up. Okay, clamp this up here in the vise. Okay. All right. Put on some safety glasses. Gotta do that. That's important. Yeah. See, I mean, this isn't bad. This really isn't bad. And I mean, honestly, a lot of folks would have been like, "Yeah, I'm not replacing that. Just go ahead and throw a brand new, throw that into the truck." Well, I've got it out. Might as well go ahead and do it. So that way, you go back in there with brand new stuff. I know you might say, "Well, what about the control arm bushings?" But there's literally nothing wrong with them. So, okay. Got to get a receiving tube that's deep enough. I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to set everything up here with the receiving tube and everything like that. Okay? Be right back. Okay, y'all. I've got it set up here. I think this will work. It did work on the other ball joint. These just press in. So you're just basically dealing with an interference fit. Had to use the plate because this receiving cup here doesn't have, it has a hole in the bottom where this can go in. So that's what this plate is for. So, and got that right there. So it's probably not the best setup in the world to do this, but I think it's good enough to do this job. So I'm going to, the last one came out surprisingly easy. It was very surprising how easy it just came out. So as you can see, I've just got just standard ratchet, and this is a 7/8 socket. Alright, so I'm just going to start cranking this down, and it's already coming out. Let's just see right here. I wanted to set this up so that you all could see see all of this happening. As you can see, there's a big gap right there now. So I'm going to just keep cranking on this. So I'm just cranking on this just with this ratchet right here. That's it. Okay, there it is. Yep. She's all done now. Okay, let me set the camera down here. Whoops. Drop the plate. Get the receiving cup out of the way. Okay, so old ball joint is out. There we are. Alright, so get my little pusher plate. That's actually for some leaf springs. So I'm going to clean this all up right here. Clean all this goop off of it. Make a little mess, but I'm going to clean my control arm up. I want it to look nice when it goes on the truck. And does this kit, oh yeah, right there's the part number. 27310. So, and OEM is the brand name. So, all right, I'm gonna clean this up and get it ready for the new ball joint to go in. And I will be right back. Okay, so you can see right here, got a bunch of crud off of the control arm, and it's looking much nicer. I went ahead and cleaned this hole up right there for the new ball joint to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on putting that in. Basically just exactly the opposite of what I just did. So that's going to go in there like that. Now I just need to push this ball joint in this way. So I'm going to need a receiving cup over here. I'm going to need the ball. I need something to push the ball joint in. Now, this area you see right here, that's for the grease fitting. I recommend you put something on that. Some piece of metal like so over that whenever you're pushing that in. You don't want to push on this just by itself, okay? This plate is probably pretty strong, but you know, if this thing gets cocked one way or the other, it could possibly damage things. Like the hole where the grease fitting goes in. And you may be like, well, that doesn't really matter, but yeah, actually it does. They put grease fittings on here for a reason. They want you to grease them. This is very, very important. Okay, I've got to pause this. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I got this set up and ready to go back. I've got my receiving tube over here. Got the clamp on. You can see I got the plate right there. I'd rather do this than have this pushing on the center of the ball joint, because when you're pushing on that center, it's just concentrating all the load on one tiny little area. But with this plate, I'm spreading the load out to the outside body. Okay, so that's why I'm doing that. So just watch along here, and let me get a little extra light. See a little bit better, maybe. Okay, so we'll get position this right there. Okay. Now this time I'm just using, well, we were going, and then all of a sudden we weren't. Okay, so I'm going to have to switch ratchets. I was using that short little 1/2-inch drive ratchet, or shorter. And I've got the much larger one out. Now you'll notice I'm pushing this in, but this tip isn't turning when this is. Well, it's because this spins independent and freely, so that's good. You'll notice also this very large screw is really well lubricated. That's really important. You see that gap is getting smaller. So just closing on down on it. Whoops. All right. Now, this isn't the only way to do this. There's plenty of other ways to do this. I'm just showing you the way I'm going to do it, the way I did it. Did the other control arm the same way. And pretty much honestly, this is all pretty much in real time. I did take a few minutes to clean the control arm up. And set everything up. So that takes a little bit of rigging things up and everything like that. But as you can see, we are fully seated right there. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the grease fitting in. I'm going to show you how to put the boot on too. So here we go. Here's now, as far as this grease fitting is concerned, let me tell you something special about grease fittings. What's really important about them is they can save you a hell of a lot of money. If you use them like they're supposed to be used every so often, you can save yourself a lot of money because you won't have to be replacing ball joints and tie rod ends and all sorts of stuff like that every so often. So that's what a lot of people don't think about. So that truck of mine, that 92, still has the factory installed ball joints, upper and lower. And that's because I grease them every time I change the oil. Probably a little excessive, but hey, that keeps them alive. Okay, how I'm going to put this on, let's use something like that. One of these receiving tubes. Yeah, like that guy right there. Use that one. Alright, I just about got it finished up there. I've got to... This is what happens when you do a job like this, and then you don't touch it again for a week or so. It's like, wait a minute, where did I leave off? Okay. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to... So there we go. Boot is installed now. So all I need to do now, I'm just going to put this in there, but I'm not going to spread it out or nothing. Run this nut down there to hold it in place. And that's that. That's done. But I just used, sorry about that. I didn't pay attention to the camera. My fault. But I just use this to hammer this down the rest of the way. All the way around. And first one I used was this one. I use that. Just hammer it down the rest of the way. Hammer it down. So, there we go. Alright. If you have any further questions about this or any of these other jobs I do on here, let me know. I'll be glad to answer your questions as best I can. I thank you all very much for watching. And I thank you so much for the likes and the shares and the thumbs ups and all of that. So, appreciate you all. You have yourselves a great day. God bless.